This episode of the Off-Road Podcast is sponsored by Warren, Power Tank, and Medical Gear Outfitters.
Off-Road Podcast.
Off-Road Podcast.
Episode 320.
Episode 320.
Half Temptations.
Tonight, Aaron drains his rear end. Jeremy's on sabbatical. Coy gets some white powder on his nose. And Ben makes spaghetti.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with my co-hosts, Aaron and Coy, and welcome to the show. And so we didn't get to mention this last week. Jeremy is taking a little bit of a break from the show. He got a promotion at work, and he's been working overtime, and he's trying to get stuff all settled up. So
I don't think it's overtime when you're on salary, unfortunately.
Yeah, so he's working a lot, and so while he gets everything ship shape and in order, he's going to be taking a break.
Good pun. Good dad joke there.
Yep, I'm a dad joke guy. So Jeremy will be back probably like next month, I think he said, something like that.
I think we'll see him in December.
Yeah, we'll see him sooner or later. But until then, we've got Coy filling in. I think Andy's going to come on for an episode. Coy might be here too. Just like last time. So yeah.
The Weekend Review is brought to you by Medical Gear Outfitters. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to have a casualty on the trail? Check out medicalgearoutfitters.com to get straightened out. Medical Gear Outfitters has everything you need, whether you're going out for the day or traveling on a year-long expedition. Head over there to get off-road specific kits that meet all of your needs. And while you're there, make sure you use Off-Road Podcast for 10% off.
All right. So I got a story just about how important your first aid kit is. And
especially at Ben's house.
Especially at my house. Here is bloody gauze. And this is why you actually check your supplies. This was the last piece of gauze I had. Fortunately enough, it was not that big of a bleeder, but still, it bled a lot, and all I did was cut my finger. Not bad enough to need stitches, but yeah. So
when you say it was the last piece of gauze, like, did you open up your metal kit and you found the bloody gauze in there, and you're like, well,
no, that's
I'm just gonna reuse it, or it was the last piece of good gauze you had.
Last piece of good gauze I had.
Gotcha.
So I had some regular band-aids and stuff, but I had forgotten I used my son's or when my son broke his arm, I'd forgot I used like my last piece of big wrapping gauze as a makeshift sling and wrap for his wrist. So yeah, do check your supplies and make sure you've re-upped it. You can always go to Medical Gear Outfitters and use that code Off-Road Podcast for a discount. So yeah. Aaron, what's new, man?
Well, school, busy with school, busy on the farm, stacked up 4 cords of firewood over the weekend. Still probably have 2 more on the ground. So I think those 2 trees I've been talking about got produced 6 cords of firewood is my best guesstimation there. So doing that. I had some free time on Friday, and I drove over to my buddy's Kwanzaa hut where I put the engine in the Nissan Frontier and used his jacks and forklift to get the Frontier up in the air and do some diagnosing. Couldn't figure anything out, so it's like, well, here goes nothing. So I took the rear differential cover off, expecting to find chunks of teeth in there, and it was really good in there. The oil was fairly clean, and there was practically no metallic shine in the oil. There's always going to be a little, which there was, but nothing to be concerned about. So yeah, so that was kind of a bummer. I guess it's a win that I didn't have broken teeth in the ring gear. So closed it back up, filled it back up, and we're pretty sure that it wasn't a broken axle. So we took it for a drive, and I let him drive, and he could immediately feel like there's something wrong. He's like, dude, this is bad. I don't know what it is, but there's something bad in your truck. I'm like, I know. And we drove up the road, and then we went down to this cul-de-sac.
I gotta guess. Is it your U joints in your drive
No.
line? Damn it.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
continue on.
No, we like wiggled everything and checked everything, and like everything was good. So I got out and like looked on the ground while he drove it forward, like would just kind of launch the truck for like 3 feet or so and then get off. And it was not suspension clunking. And what I saw was the drive line and the transmission going like this every time you accelerate in the truck, the whole thing lifting up and slamming back down. So we drove back to the shop, took the skid plate off, and sure enough, the rear transmission mount, the rubber had come delaminated from the metal. And so essentially there was nothing holding on to it. So all the torque just lifted it up. And then when the torque went away, it would just slam back down. Thankfully, it didn't jump up high enough to pull the slip joint out. That would have been scary.
Nice. Well, I mean, at least that's an easy fix. A new mount.
Yeah. So I got a new mount on order. It's going to be here Friday. It's a $70 part or whatever it cost me. So, yeah,
I'd
it
like
will
to
be
say,
fairly.
I'd like to
part.
say that when you called me to talk about this problem, and we're kind of, going down the checklist, I did hit mounts like way early on. I was like, "What? Like, are you sure
you?
all the motor mounts, mounts?" And you're
Must
like, "No,
have
I think it's
glossed over it. I must have glossed over it. I don't remember you saying that, but that doesn't mean that's not true because as
I
a
remember
man,
thinking
I'm
that
pretty sure.
I had a mount come loose in a car on that I had, and it did that every time you accelerated, you'd get a clunk."
Gotcha. Yeah. So I at first thought though I expected it to be like some nuts that hold the mount to the cross member backed off, and so maybe it's pulling up and slamming back down. But everything was tight, so it was just the rubber. And what's interesting, Coy, is that mount, being that it was a rear transmission mount, was it existed from the Titan. So not only is it 4 years newer, but it had half the miles that my Frontier transmission mount had. So maybe it was in a harder environment. Maybe the more torque from the Titan pulls on it more, because essentially I'm pretty sure it's the same mount for the Frontier and for the Titan. Otherwise I'm screwed because I just bought the wrong mount. We'll find out.
Eric would like to state that he didn't listen to you, Coy.
Yeah. Well, so what I was
No.
just getting ready to say is, as a man, I feel like it's my duty to not listen to everything everybody says, like almost like a civic duty. Maybe like 65% is the threshold of what you are required to listen to, and the other 35 you're actively not supposed to listen to. I think that's how that works.
In Aaron's defense, we were going through the list of possibilities and just blasting them out, and just like, check that. No, can't be that. Can't be that. Sounds like this. Can't be that. Maybe it's this. So easy
Yeah.
to pass. You can't check everything.
And I was really under the impression that it was something coming from the passenger side rear. So, and if you think about where the transmission is, that's literally, that mount is probably right underneath my butt when it would slam back down. But all that feel that I would get from the slam and clunk, it felt like it was all the way at the back of the truck. So, yeah, I don't know. Beyond that, I had a buddy come over who is not new to firearms. Like, he's done some shooting, but he had bought his first pistol. And so I got to kind of go through it with him and talk a whole bunch of safety stuff and the what not to do's and the what to do's and how you stand and how you hold it sideways and things like that. So It was really fun to do that with him. And I had bought him some ammo a year ago because he was having trouble finding it. So I had bought some ammo, and we're just finally now getting together to shoot it. And I wrote the price on the box. So for all you listeners out there, I bought some Federal 9mm 50 round white box stuff that says that it's for target practice. Full metal jacket, 115 grain, and I wrote on it $14 a box. That's what I paid for it a year ago. And like at the time, when I bought it, I was like disgusted that I had to pay $14 a box because I was normally paying $10 a box. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. They're jacking the prices up so much. Now it is the cheapest I can find it is $16.50 a box from the same store. So, and other stores are selling it for $22 a box.
Disgusting. Well, it's like 22. I mean, you used to be able to spend $3 on one of those little boxes of
Mhm.
50 rounds, and now you can't touch it for 10.
Eric says how to safely look down the barrel. We actually did safely look down the barrel because we were talking about squibs and things like that. And so we cleared the gun and pretended, and yeah, so we did safely look down the barrel. Coy, what have you been up to?
I'm actually pretty excited about this little piece of news. I have to tell you. Have you guys ever driven a tracked vehicle in the snow?
No, I want to.
Let me think. No, absolutely, I haven't. I had to think for
Yeah,
a while, but pretty sure.
it's pretty awesome. I have to say that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. It's pretty awesome, and it was
Yeah.
an excavator. Yeah, no, it's actually not awesome in an excavator. It's horrible. I'm working on a ski slope in Mount Hood, and it's 2 inches of probably 4 inches of snow we started. Now it's just kind of there's just boulders and stuff all over, and yeah, it's a pain. You about get launched out of the machine every 2 seconds. So yeah,
Just
but
because it's
interestingly, I've been getting to work on Mount Hood, and it's cold and snowy, and getting me ready for winter and getting me excited for them snow runs. A lot of
so
snowball fights on the pot.
you're driving the FJ up there and like doing some snow wheeling in the FJ while you're up there.
Oh, there's not enough snow for that. And no, we're taking a 2-wheel drive Ford F550 up there. We have chains though, just in
Even
case.
better.
The first
Even better.
the first day we were headed up, I wasn't driving. My foreman was, and this long straight stretch, and the snow had like melted over it into the shadow. And we're doing 15 miles an hour, and if he gave it any gas, it starts spitting it out. I was like, man, I don't know if we're gonna make it. I don't want to check it up in the middle of the road here. But we made it, and it's weather's gotten better the last couple of days, so it's looking good. But yeah, it's cool working up on probably as high as I've ever worked in my life. So, and it's the only time I've had this many snowball fights while I'm getting paid union wages. So
Nice.
yeah,
I wonder if your elevation though is lower than where we camped this summer in Colorado.
it probably almost certainly it for sure is now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying highest I've ever worked, not vacation.
No,
So
no. I know it's highest you've worked, but it's amazing that you're at a ski resort and where we camped in Colorado, not at a ski resort, was even higher.
yeah,
That was epic.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
How about you, Ben? What
it's
have you
been
been up
fun.
Uh, Not much. Well, I'm sick today. That was not fun. I woke up not feeling so great this morning. But this last week, what was it? I think it was after the show Monday. I ordered a 3D printer, and then it showed up on Thursday. Actually, so Monday when I ordered, before we were talking about that future episode, and I ordered some long sporks for that,
Okay.
and my
You're like,
wife.
you're like, I'm ordering a spork. I might as well order a 3D printer.
Well, no, that happened like an hour or so later. But I ordered the spork, and then I ordered the printer, and so Thursday I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for it, and the Spork had showed up the day before, and my wife was like, "You always order some of the stupidest stuff." Like I I know, I know. No, and then as she's yelling at me for this, and I'm trying to like explain why I ordered it, she's like, "Can't you
Uh-huh.
just cut?" Yeah. So she, as I'm ordering it, or as I'm trying to explain it, there's an Amazon guy walking up to the front door with a big box for my 3D printer. What'd you order now? So yeah, it was great. I laughed. She did not laugh. Um, but since one of my neighbors needed a CV axle replaced in his commuter car, I was like, I can do it. And he's like, well, I'll pay you whatever the shop fee was I was going to pay. I'm like, sure, whatever. Just pay me for parts and whatever you want to throw me for time. It's no big deal. I was just being neighborly. And he gave me $200 for it. So I bought the 3D printer. I think it was like 175. It was on like a lightning deal. So I got that ordered up, and I got the 2 basic prints that come with it printed. Worked out great. And then I was like, oh, and then I did the calculation cube. I should have brought it out here. It helps you see if your stuff's all right, programmed right. And then that worked out great. And I'm like, okay, let's go to a giant print. And that's what I did for my next print. But I did not realize when you change filaments, some different filaments want different heat requirements, and they're very temperamental. So I started this print, and no, I got an Ender V2, an Ender 3 V2. So yeah, not a wish printer. and I didn't realize all these things, and I left for work, and the wife and kids went and looked at it later, and the nozzle had clogged severely bad, like really, really bad. And I tried to like fix it, and I just couldn't get it fixed. And I cleared that. It was not just the nozzle; the whole heating element clogged up. It was nasty. So I got it all pulled apart, and I just ended up ordering a new heating element.
You got a
Oh, I've got
Did
a
you
bag
get
of
a
tips.
bag of
Yep,
nozzles?
and got a
Okay.
bag of nozzles now too. So
Did
I got it
you
all fine tuned and
did
fixed
you buy
last
the
night.
yellow springs yet?
I got the yellow springs too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I bought like 4 different things of filament after the one filament that I've been having trouble with. And I've got a successful print. At least the last I checked, it was like 80% done with like 40 minutes left. So we'll see how it works out when I get done here. I
Nice.
printed it for my oldest because he wanted me to print him some Pokemon skull thing. So outside of that, I actually found a bunch of Forerunner stuff that I want to print, like a little tray for my glove box, or not my glove box, for my center console. Because the center console is just a giant open box for my Forerunner, and this is a little tray to help divide it up. And then, yeah,
Oh, stop.
and then apparently everyone's wondering when I'm going to start doing the Pew stuff. I mean, I don't know when. I've got to find some STLs, and so yeah, I'm gonna make me a Nerf gun.
Yes.
I
Nerf all the
actually
things.
that's actually been one thing that's been on my list of things I've wanted to. My scouts that I have, we do like a lock-in thing that the big Nerf gun battle with all the groups. And
Hey Ben,
yeah,
your audio went really, really wonky. I'm not sure what
did it?
happened there. So yeah.
Okay. Is it
I
better
don't know
now?
if it was because it's perfect fine now. I don't know if it's because Koi disappeared and came back on, but the audio went super wonky. Like
Okay.
you got really quiet and muffled. So I don't know what you said after um, the Nerf gun.
Oh, I said that my scouts, we do like a lock-in, and we have big Nerf gun battles. I'm like the hide and seek world champion for that. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait,
Darwin
how are
says-
you the hide and seek champion?
Well, he's probably playing against children.
All right. Well, I was playing against children.
Blind children
No,
in wheelchairs.
I hid it. I hid in a cupboard, and they never found me. And I refused to come out until they said that I won. And I would like open the cupboard door a little bit and shout out. I'd be like, "Still can't find me? Do you give up?" And I'd like sit there. It's just, I mean, big guy, little space. I was very cramped. My back hurt afterwards, but I won hide and seek against. I think there was 30 kids. So
Wow.
yeah, it was dads versus sons. I won. That's all that
Gotcha.
matters. So yeah, that's been me. Outside of that, I'm still working on the
So it seems every time Koi rejoins us that the audio goes wonky.
Well, Koi, stay with us, man. Stay with us.
I keep getting booted. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe Jeremy's like secretly behind the scenes kicking you out for fun.
Yeah.
That's what it feels.
Darwin says that he has a Ender 3 V2, which is what you and I both have, and he says TPU is fun to print inappropriate things with. What is TPU? Is that a type of filament?
Yeah, that's a type of filament.
Okay.
I actually one of the things I was looking at was there's some badges like mall rated badges is making a handful of them and just start slapping them on people's rigs. maybe get
Please do that. Please, Ben.
maybe get Jeremy to walk around since he's the unofficial handycorn of the Off-Road podcast. I Daryl wouldn't mind. He'd think it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people would love that.
So
Yeah.
fun, not so off-road related things, but you know.
Well, you can print. I mean, you mentioned printing stuff for your Forerunner. I looked at printing stuff for my Frontier, and everything was just really dumb. It was like a cup holder separator that had the word Nissan on it, and
Well, so
some
one of
other really dumb things. So
one of the things out there is like a cup holder adapter. Toyota is really terrible about making cup holders. They're all garbage, unless you have like a big bottle. Like it'll hold my Nalgene bottle perfectly, but like a Coke would fall over in there. So there's some people that make adapters. So I'm trying to find.
like an insert.
An insert for it.
I feel like that's not a Toyota thing. That's a whatever your Forerunner you have thing is, because I have factory inserts in my Toyota.
Well,
I have factory inserts in my Frontier.
the Forerunners, 4th and 5th gen have garbage ones. The one in our Kia or our Camry is not terrible, but yeah. So yeah.
Hey guys,
So is
we're
there-
looking to reach more listeners. We're going to start reading Apple iTunes reviews on air. If you hear yours, send us a message with your address, and we'll send you an Off-Road Podcast sticker. You can find all of our social media by just searching our name. Now, go hit that subscribe button.
So I would do a reviewish thing for this, but we've got a guy who messaged us on Instagram who's in the Navy. It might be the Australian Navy. But he's going to be coming on soon to talk about a subject. And I think it'll be pretty exciting. So, yeah,
Stay tuned.
stay tuned for that one. But I mean, he reached out
It's a
to
vehicle. It's a vehicle we don't get in the United States that we're going to
Yeah.
talk about. That's all. I mean, it has 4 tires on it, so that I won't say anymore.
Yeah, it's
The hood
I don't know.
and
It's
the
gonna be a
Or
fun
maybe it has
episode.
a bonnet. I think it's got a bonnet, not a hood.
To be fair, GMC did make a vehicle by the same name, but they just wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah, there we go.
There's your hint.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month.
Did you catch that Halloween drop, Aaron?
Are you talking about Stay Puffed?
Yeah, the Stay Puffed.
I was up late last night texting with my buddy Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there some good patches coming out?
Yeah. I'm sworn to secrecy.
Okay.
I had a pinky swear. So I'll tell you afterwards.
All right. Well, there you go. Sucks to be you guys. But they do got one drop in this week. Here I'm gonna share it here.
Real quick in the comments, we got Mad Dog Brown. He says this is the Alabama Aussie guy, and he is stoked to hear who we're going to have on. So that tells me that you got my letter if you're calling yourself the Alabama Aussie guy.
Yeah. So
yeah, stay puffed, stay strapped.
Yeah.
Stay
so
puffed, man.
Here's this week's patch drop, right? Is this week's one?
I think so.
Yeah. So they've got another patch one coming out.
They're doing another series of 4 of these patches, and it seems like they're dropping not only the Stay Puffed guy, but an additional patch as well.
Yeah, and they did, and I actually there's still some of these out there, and I'm thinking I'm going to add it to my vehicle lineup because it's Slimer rocking looks like a Glock. So yeah, I'm pretty. I like.
I really need him to do. I need him to do some more Pumpkin Spice stuff. That's the Pumpkin Spice Grenade's my favorite patch. I need more. I need more Pumpkin Spice in my life from Patriot Patch.
Yeah.
Well, you are a basic white girl, aren't you?
I'm super basic.
Well, I think it's time for the news.
The news is brought to you by PowerTank, the ultimate mobile onboard air system for performance, versatility, and reliability. They are your source for all air-related accessories. Check them out at powertank.com.
So, man, we can't get away from this. We're doing Bronco and Wrangler, actually Gladiator news this week. Just can't seem to shake these two. They are always in the limelight.
It's almost like they're in a battle for supremacy. And Toyota's just sitting there. Hey, we're reliable at least, aren't we?
I think that's. I think we can stop saying Toyota reliability. I think we can just move on from that. They're so good because of reliable thing. What hasn't been reliable lately?
Well, definitely not Ford on delivering vehicles quickly.
That's not the vehicle not being reliable, although they're hard tops. But like, have their Rangers not been reliable? Obviously, they're new. Yeah, Josh in the comments says Toyota. Hey, look at this new paint color.
Yeah,
100%, Josh.
That is true, and that's why I kind of joked about the reliability.
Yeah.
I actually Toyota what Toyota's done in response to the Ford Bronco and the Gladiator, they're like, hey, we're going to stop making Land Cruisers. So
exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know if they're defeat or what Toyota's doing.
No, but they're going to keep producing the Lexus version for the U.S. markets.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, and good, the expensiver one.
The expensiver, harder to modify one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Well, I will say, at first I hated the Tundra, and I'm starting to like it a little more.
Well, I saw a different rendering of the Tundra.
I've seen
that one didn't look bad.
I've seen pictures. Or maybe it was good.
Yeah, maybe it was a picture, not a rendering. But whatever the case was, that one didn't look bad compared to that first picture that we shared. That was just dog poop.
Yeah.
That first picture was just horrendous.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, speaking of first pictures, there was a picture back in June of the of this Bronco, and it was all wrapped in plastic. Well, they've released
Camouflaged up.
Yep, they've released some
Very good.
details. It's
I don't
going
know
to
how
be
I don't know how they see out of that windshield when it says auto blog right across that.
yeah, no clue. It's some
This sticker is dangerous and convenient, but I sure do love Autoblog.
so
Sponsored by.
it's going to be the Ford Bronco Everglades. It's supposed to arrive
I'm
next summer.
so disappointed with that name. Although I'm sorry, I'll talk about that later. Go on.
All right, so it's expected to arrive next summer when the Bronco Raptor arrives. It was dubbed the Overland. Now they're calling it the Everglade. The interior is being listed as marine grade with colored vinyl interior, so very similar to like the FJ Cruisers have. And it's only in a 4-door model. Comes with a factory snorkel.
Does that mean like you can just leave the top off and it can rain and it's not going to be a problem? Was that what marine grade means?
I believe so. Because I'm pretty sure it wouldn't survive getting drowned in Texas. Let's see. Its full details will be available in the first quarter of 2022. It requires a modular bumper that's available on a couple of the Broncos, I believe. The was it the Badlands and another one have the modular bumper available?
Yes. I think they come not available. I think it comes with it in the Badlands and
Yeah.
another one that I can't remember.
It, you're required to get that to get the Warren winch that you can get with it. That costs, was it like $1,000? I think is what they were saying.
No, $3,500. So
35.
if you want that winch on the front, it's a $3,500 option for them to install it. And it doesn't come from Ford. It's like a dealer accessory that they install from the sounds of it. So
And
that's
that may be a $3,500 option for that bumper. But looking at this picture here, I would think that would include a front skid plate, but apparently it doesn't.
no, that doesn't include the bumper from what I'm reading in the article. That you're required to have that bumper if you want the $3,500 winch.
Yeah. It's interesting how it's read. The roof cover also might add something to it. I'm almost thinking it kind of looks like it's got a safari top, or maybe it's just some roof rack option that they're maybe throwing in with it.
To me, it looks like a basket up there. It looks like a rooftop basket.
I would just hope that they'd have like a, what is it, the fairing, so the wind deflector to help with noise and aerodynamics. Probably.
That looks like there might be some kind of basket going on up there, but it really looks like a Baja style light rack, light bar setup with a hoop, you know.
For how far it's canted forward at the very top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like one of those Baja style light bars.
And then dealers won't start taking orders for at least another 5 months. So we won't even be able to see what the configurations or cost is going to be. So, yep. So good luck on
think it'd be super rad if it had a safari top, though. I think vehicles with those just look cool.
Yeah, but I imagine with it going to be a 2022, you'll get it in 2023
or 4
or 5,
yeah,
sometime. So maybe I'll wait to put my order in on a Bronco until I see what's up with the Everglades edition.
Rick wants to know if you're half tempted.
I'm very half tempted.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or are you guys starting to like all this stuff with the Bronco? I'm actually kind of starting to get turned off by the Bronco. I'm not liking Wranglers anymore or Gladiators more, but I'm just like, come on, Ford, get it together. Like, it's kind of turning me off.
Well, wait till our next article to be turned off a little bit more.
The wait time has me so turned off. It's So might as well just jump into this next article. The 2022 Jeep Gladiator lineup gets just a wee bit more expensive. So the Sport that comes in at almost 37,000 is going up $670. The Wheelie Sport, which is 39,000, is going up $425. The Sport S is going up 40. It's going up $230. The Wheelies is going up $1,000. The Texas Trail is going up $685. The Altitude is returning after a year off at $42,105. The Overland is going up at $2,070. The Rubicon and Mojave packages are going up $2,000, and the High Altitude is going up $815.
Okay. Time out here. Time out.
Okay.
I'm going to count on my fingers. Sport, Willys Sport, Sport S, Willys, Texas Trail, Altitude, Overland, Rubicon, Mojave, High Altitude. I just counted to 5 twice on one hand. That, if I'm doing my math right, that's 10 different models of the Jeep Gladiator. 10 freaking models of this truck. That's insane that they have that many versions of a truck.
Maybe we're just getting old, and like our great grandpas, they had the Model Ts, right? And there was like one model, and then then we grew up in the era where like there was the Jeeps. They had the Sahara and the Sport, and that was it.
In the comments here, Mad Dog Brown says the Overland, which he's referring to the Jeep Gladiator Overland. Is that why Bronco had to change their name to the Everglades? And the people who wrote the article for that Bronco were calling it the Overland. Ford wasn't calling it the Overland. They just didn't have a name for it, so they called it they just called it the Overland because they didn't know what to call it. So, and then Josh has a really good point. He says the wait time isn't much as a surprise considering the supply chain for basically all goods and materials is hitting the fan, and looks like it's only going to get worse.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So
there is 10 different ones listed here of the Gladiators, and I thought there was a couple more, but maybe those are just packages on top of these models that I'm thinking of.
It's some of the options on there are changing the prices. Like they said, like the diesel is going up $100 more.
Vin Diesel's going up $100. Wow.
No, the 3-liter diesel engine, which is $4,000, is going up $10 to $4,010.
LED headlights and fog lights are up $100. It's funny the diesel engine package goes up $10. That's kind of silly. Let's see here. Says that the Overland, the Rubicon, and Mojave had a 7-inch infotainment screen and is now getting upsized to 8.4, which brings that price up. So yeah, just a bunch of different doodads and changes in technologies and packages that are causing the prices to go up. But once again, we're in quite the inflation in our country right now as well.
Yeah, and then the some of the colors are going away. Nacho, which I think is like that yellow orange color.
Oh, is that the color of Rick? Is that the color of Rick's truck? Is his the nacho color?
And then Gecko, which is like a green.
It's pumpkin with a K. He's only told us like 4,000 times.
And then Billet Silver is gone, and that's getting replaced with Silver Zenith or Zenith.
Zenith,
so,
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna have a different premium color, because premium paints are at a premium now. If they're just gonna drop those color options.
Yeah, they went up
too.
They went up $50 for premium paint.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I imagine they're probably just trying to limit options and cut it back a little bit to help the supply chain be a little better. But who knows?
Maybe they should talk to our transportation secretary and get some good advice from him.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get worn equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
All right. Well,
Ben, audio is all wonky again.
is it really?
Now it's good.
Wasn't even my
Apparently,
fault.
apparently, I just have to say the audio is wonky and it fixes it. My magical voice.
Magical wonkiness. I don't know what's up with it tonight. It's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So-
apologize for that, guys.
Yeah, definitely sorry. So I believe this topic was thrown out as a joke when we were discussing shows. Like, oh, maybe we should do a Ben's half tempted. All the things I'm always half tempted to buy.
Because you are always half tempted. And I feel like you have actually worked on your vernacular some to remove that phrase. You don't say it nearly as often as you used to. But yeah, man, that's really cool. I'm half tempted to get that. Oh, that's not a bad price. I'm half tempted to get that. I'm half tempted to get rid of my Forerunner and get a fill in the blank today.
Yeah,
2 minutes later, I'm half tempted to get this other thing as well.
yeah. So
The worst
because
part
I-
about Ben being half tempted is since you work in the industry, a lot of times you throw out toy prices on like axles or something. I'm like, wow, that is a really good price. And then I look it up like, man, you're not even close.
Have to buy this thing. I don't know the price, but I think it's this much.
Yeah.
If
Well,
if
no.
it was really that price, I'm really half tempted to get it.
Well, well, it definitely doesn't help because when I can buy stuff at like cost, it's like, oh yeah, $80 for you is $50 for me. So yeah, these
A while back, you were talking about the unbreakable CV axles for Toyotas. I can't remember the brand right now.
oh yeah,
The
C-
RCVs.
RCV axles, yes.
Yeah. And you're like, they're like $1,200. And I was like, wow, I'm going to buy those. And I looked up, like, oh, they're like $2,000.
Yeah, it helps when you have a little bit of a discount within the industry, just a bit, tiny bit. Makes it, really helps you get like 3/4 tempted. So, why don't we start off here with just some of the things that have been on my list that are on my radar lately. And I'm going to start this off with the Element Fire Extinguisher.
What in the world is that?
So it's like
That-
it's like a flare. And
Is that
there's
like one of those M&M holders, the mini M&M holders.
no, so it activates like a flare. It's a A, B, C, and K fire extinguisher, and it runs for so if you get the E50, they have a couple different models. They have like an E80, it lasts longer, but the E50 lasts 50 seconds. And this is kind of a list comparing it to a 5 pound. You don't have to service it ever. It's cleaner. It doesn't leave messy residue. It just shoots out gas. You can use one hand to operate it. It weighs in at 2.75 grams compared to 7 pounds, and it lasts for 50 seconds versus like 11 seconds with a 5 pound fire
I think
extinguisher.
that's 275 grams, not 2.75.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can't
That's
read.
what
I'm
it says.
still-
Still, it's pretty light.
It'd be like one paper clip.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I've never heard of this before, so I've clearly not been half tempted to get one. But
So
now that I
we-
see I am kind of half tempted to get that. What do you got for a price on this thing?
So those run $80 at MAP, at the low end of MAP. MAP is minimum advertised pricing, so that's like that's average. What you'll see is about $80 for one.
Do they make do they make like a spot that I can mount these on the side of my roof rack
So
and things like that to look cool?
It comes with a little clippy clip right there.
No, that clip looks like you could mount it to the side of your high lift jack. though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
double
I,
up.
I would I mean it's so small you could have it in just right next to your seat in the little door pocket
Clip it
thing.
to the e-brake.
it
So all that sounds good. My question is, you get volume. Clearly, you get volume out of a 5-pound fire extinguisher, where that thing is the size of a road flare.
So
Is it going to put out the same volume?
it puts out more
Oh.
volume. So it shoots out like a gas. That like smothers the fire. There's a couple videos on YouTube. I'd recommend checking them out. They're pretty cool. Uh, uh, it just shoots out like a CO gas. It doesn't leave a bunch of powdery residue left over.
Yeah.
Have you ever popped open or sprayed a fire extinguisher?
Lots of times.
Yeah, it's fun. So it just shoots like a CO gas out, and it kind of just smothers the fire.
I'm not super convinced of those things. I've watched the videos, and it doesn't look like it has this like it doesn't look like it has the same CFM. Like it does spray kind of a lot out, but when you spray a fire extinguisher, like you blot out the sud, so it doesn't.
It's like comparing a power tank to a regular air compressor.
All right. So here's what we'll do: is here soon.
Can you get them through work?
I can get them through work. I've actually got 3 sitting on the wall.
We need to get a tester, and we need to start a fire under the hood of a 4Runner or something, and see how long it takes to put a fire out.
Well,
I
I
have
a
20
good one.
pounds of magnesium. We could throw it in the hood of the 4Runner, get it going, and then see which one puts it out.
Well, how about instead of throwing it into a 4Runner, why don't we just start one of Aaron's big fires, and towards the end of the night, we just put it out with one?
4Runner campfire, yeah. Josh says he's got a $15 fire extinguisher from Home Depot. He's cheap. Honestly, all the fire extinguishers I've ever got were from a previous employer, and I'd get them when they were out of date. And I've got
a $15 fire extinguisher. It's just this is lighter, smaller, and it lasts longer.
No, for sure. Yeah.
And what I do like about it is it's A, B, C, and K.
What is K?
K is like grease fires.
So the one way these elements would win everyone over, if you made that thing pump action like the bug salt guns, you just cut that thing, boom, fire out. I'd go around lighting stuff on fire just to put it out, and then load another one in.
So yeah,
and they should make those in a shotgun shell, like a 12 gauge version. So you could load up 7 of them in your pump shotgun, and you just go around like Koi's saying, you just extinguish things.
This fire's extinguished. Your fire's extinguished. Everybody gets their fire extinguished.
You're on fire. Let me grab my shotgun. Put you
out walking around the Northwest Overland Rally with a shotgun.
I would probably use flare guns. That looks more safe. Plus, I could dual wield then.
All right. Well, the next thing on my list is some train horns.
Oh my goodness, Ben.
Yes, I know. And you're probably thinking I want them because of traffic and road rage, right?
Your Spanaway is showing.
My Spanaway is showing? No. I want train horns. Actually, I think it was Rick, because on a search and rescue mission, they used their train horns. They'd like toot their horn every once in a while, and the missing person actually heard it and started walking the right direction towards the road. And also because people in traffic, screwed them.
Right? 100%. 100%.
But it's kind of a mixed bag of things. I have a positive reason I want it, and then I also have, the negative reason I want it. So I figure that balances out. This is one of their cheaper electric train horn sets. It's like $80.
Now, if you really want that horn to sound good, go ahead and hook it up to your power tank.
There you go.
Don't use that cheesy little air compressor it comes with. That thing's trash. Power tank that thing and just whoop. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be very, very fun.
We'll have to ask the power tank guys if they've ever hooked theirs up to a train horn, because they're going to get a lot more CFM flow than the little vinyl hose that whatever they use for those things.
Well, I could just order this $90 train horn, and we could hook it up to mine and find out what happens.
So I have a feeling though that is that's an air horn, not necessarily a train horn. I don't know. Usually train horns require dedicated air, not just a little.
So they have bunch of different ones, and I've done them through work. Actually, the one I really want is
Of course, you sold them at your job.
yes, I have. One of the main reasons I want one is, the one I
How-
want is the fire
How
truck one.
deep, how deep dish were the wheels on the truck that you put that train horn on?
Not deep dished at all.
Wait, how long were the spikes on the lug nuts?
He did not have lug nuts. He did not have spiked lug nuts on his truck. Sorry.
Sure.
Yet.
Sure he did.
Yet. Yes.
Yet.
Well, he's got to pay off the train horn before he can get the spike lug nuts. Priorities, clearly.
Priorities.
To be fair, when I was 16, I went out and bought one of these for my Oldsmobile Delta 88 and installed it in that car to a toggle switch because I didn't really want to have to hold my hand on the button the whole time. That's just a waste.
That's hilarious because when I was 16, put it on my Geo Metro and it was also on a toggle switch.
Well, it was mostly because I had access to a toggle switch and I would have had to buy a button. But
Correct.
I got a toggle switch and it was nice because sometimes I just flip it on when I was going through town, so just leave it for 2 or 3 minutes. I had a lot of fun with it, but I was also 16 and mentally retarded.
You guys are terrible.
All right. What's this next thing? Is this a CPAP machine?
Nope. It's a breather kit for your differentials. I know I could. So Iron Man sells them. ARB sells one too. I've never extended the breathers on my my differentials or any of that. And this is like an easy. Here you go, or here you are and go kit. It's $100. It's got the tubes. It's got the little side mounted thing. I could get the other
It's
stuff.
$100. That's $100.
Yeah, it's $100. So I don't know.
Just to be clear, it's $100 for tubes, and then just
Yeah.
a green thing that they plug into.
Yeah,
And
so
2 self-tapping sheet metal screws.
Well, yeah, those are expensive now with supply, all that, the boats being stuck out of port, I guess.
yeah, actually, that's been one
But
company that's been
Probably
highly
powder coated.
But yeah, so I wasn't necessarily on this kit alone, but I do need to extend my breathers. So one of those things I've been half tempted to do, or need to do. So yeah,
ARB makes a kit also. I'm sure there's several other kits out there, but yeah.
yeah, there's a bunch of different kits. It's been one of the things I've been looking at. Iron Man was just the first one to pop up on my search, along
Gotcha.
with, which brings us to our next thing: a swag tent. Aaron and I have both been talking about swag tents for a while.
Yeah. Since our gamer days.
Yep, since the old days. And I was actually talking to my rep Bubba at Iron Man, and he's got one. And do you see how this one's on a cot?
I do see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so their tent actually does fit on their cot properly, and Bubba uses his quite frequently. And he says and their cot supports big boys, so I wouldn't have to worry about the cot breaking after the first trip.
Gotcha.
Because
So if it wasn't bulky enough as a swag, you've now added the cot portion to it.
yeah, because why not, right?
Well, the whole point of the swag is for it to be small and versatile and not take up much room. So now you've turned it into a full-size tent. So
I don't know. Swags are pretty large because they've already got like the thick foam mattress in them. Yeah.
But
I mean,
compared to like my my Gazelle T4, that's a lot smaller. And if it's just me, that'll work out great. Granted, I could just sleep in my passenger seat. Hence why I've been half tempted.
the test for one of those is to change your clothes inside of it and see if you still want one.
I'll just change my clothes outside like a normal freak.
Yeah, but if I'm using that, I'm by myself, so I'm probably snow camping. So changing outside, you know what I mean? And then where's the room for a heater in this?
You got to use your sweet Overland heater that's got the HVAC tube that blows in. So you don't put the heater in; it's on the outside.
Yeah,
You got a
that
little
is true.
spark fan outside and blast it into the swag.
That'd be evil.
Could you fart in front of those diesel heaters and have it suck the fart in?
Boy,
Ben, do you have one of those diesel heaters, Ben?
He does. He sure does. I can't wait to use it. I mean, I
Kid,
can't wait for him to use it.
cannot wait for that thing to be running.
oh, dude,
There are,
It's gonna be,
there are
this
reasons
is
I
gonna
will
be
undress. There are reasons I will undress outside, and me flatulating into your
oh man.
just one of those
So,
reasons.
so our next trip, first night is definitely chilly night.
wow.
It's gonna be the hottest, stinkiest fart too.
I
It's gonna be.
I haven't
super
seen
good.
somebody do this yet, but it would be the most evil and amazing thing to do because I've done this kind of. There's these like HVAC fans for venting manholes when you're down inside of an enclosed space. And I was mixing up some grout right beside it, and I took a handful of grout, just threw it into the fan, and the way it completely blocked out the sun inside this manhole and just like ruined this
Just
guy's life.
because it was like you threw the dust in there.
Yeah, I
the
just had
powder?
a small handful of grout. It just
Okay.
threw it into this HVAC fan, and it goes like 20 feet through a tube and into this manhole. And it was horrible. I should have got in trouble for it. I probably took years off of his lungs. But I always just thought with those fans, if a guy just had a teaspoon of flour and just straight into that fan, and just watch that tent inside just go. I'm just saying it would end friendships, but it would be awesome. It would be a great video.
Word to the wise: don't work with koi.
Yeah.
So, moving on. I've got a Blackstone Griddle. I've been.
You have one?
No, I've been considering one. For the
okay.
trailer, and like when it's just me, it's not so bad. But like I think that'd be really nice for like the trailer, and it probably wouldn't hurt for some of the bigger trips instead of like dealing with the what is it, like people with their scottles and all that. I just pull out my flat griddle and cook a burger or or crepes or pancakes.
Yeah,
things you
I
can't
would
really do.
stand there and make a pancake in front of all the Scotto people and then laugh.
You can't make one in a scuttle. What if you like put your scuttle on, like you put like a rock underneath one of the legs so that you had like a level side surface to make your pancake?
Well, it would be like burnt on one side and then not on the other.
I guess, yeah. So
It's me.
my brother-in-law and sister use this exact one for when they go camping, and I bought the 4-burner version that sits on our front porch for cooking, and it does really well.
Yeah,
I have a big Blackstone for my porch as well, and I quite love it.
yeah. It's there's a smaller. I don't want the big version. That's I think the 17-inch version. I want the next size down, which I think is like a 12-inch. It's like a single burner one, which would be perfect for me. Even for us as a family.
Rick says pancakes suck. I think because Rick only cooks on a scuttle.
Yep, he's fancy.
He's an elite overlander.
He likes waffles. I've seen him eat them.
Blue ones. I mean, continuing on. The Victron charge controller. I've got the Renogy one. This is a lot better, higher quality
Okay.
solar charge controller. It's been sitting in my Amazon cart for the past month and a half or so, or maybe longer than that. Probably longer than that. And so yeah, I just want to upgrade. And it's I want to say it's like $125 for one. Yeah, 118. So it's not terrible. So yeah, it's been on the list. And then
I can't even make fun of that one. It's a good one.
Right? It's an upgrade. And then so you guys know I like expensive shovels. I've got like the Demos snow shovel, but I like the look of the Crazy Beaver, Angry Beaver shovel, whatever. But I just can't justify the price. But I discovered this shovel. It's the Agency 6 shovel. It's a billet shovel, so metal handle, metal spade, it's powder coated. It's $90. I think that's what I
What's special about it?
It's 2.5 pounds, 32 inches long, 6061 T6 aluminum.
What?
Aluminium.
Oh, okay.
I like
Um,
I like the idea of these shovels, but I do a lot of shovel work with my job, and I gotta have a full length shovel anytime I'm
Well,
using a shovel.
and so like this is closer to a full length shovel. If they had a longer, so they have a shorter shovel that's kind of like an unfolded. What's the mini shovel? I can't.
tool.
Shorter than
E-tool
36
shovel.
inches.
Huh?
It's
No,
shorter than
shorter.
36 inches.
It's 30 shorter than 32 inches. Hold on, I'll pull it up here.
That's like a trenching tool then, or something, isn't it?
Yeah, so they call it their mini shovel, and it's 100. It's 23 inches long, and it's got a T handle on it.
I got to
I
tell you,
like-
I've got an all metal Fisker's shovel. It's got like a kink in the handle, so it's like ergonomic. When you fold it, you get good leverage out of it. It definitely weighs a lot, but man, it digs. You step on that into the soil, and it goes down in the soil.
Well, and that's been the thing is I want a strong, durable shovel. So maybe that's what maybe I'll switch out that onto the list.
I mean,
my
but
Fisker
it's a full size shovel. It's not gonna fit in the back of
Yeah.
a 4
Well,
runner.
and that's the thing is trying to find it big enough to fit. Like I wish it was like an adapter for it to make it a little longer, but
My
but still
feeling is when you get
strong.
adapters on that stuff, they get loose and sloppy and
Yeah.
weak and things like that. I don't know.
My other problem with these ultra cool expensive shovels like Demos, not only are they the most expensive shovel I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever just left a shovel by accident, like you're snow wheeling, you end up sticking it in the bank, and you get out, and then the shovel's gone
Oh yeah.
forever?
No, I've been right there. I've lost some expensive items before, and it's just like then you want to and especially when you've been stuck there for a while, you want to turn back and go back there and find that missing piece, and it's just not feasible. Kind of like when you lose a bolt on the trail and then your tire kicks back, and yeah, you go and try and find that missing bolt.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's not fun. I've been there too, on a snowy mountainside. So, yeah, I think we're gonna call that the episode. But I've got some more stuff. If you enjoyed this episode and my temptations,
Hey Ben,
yeah.
why don't you just read the rest of the list and we won't go
No.
into it, but just so they know. Or are you going to save them?
Here's the Fisker shovel I have, and it is like $33. See
All
that
right.
little bend in there that gives you the leverage. It's the back of the shovel is folded over, so you've got a good spot to put your boot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The waffle.
and no one else has one like it. So you won't like misplace it in someone else's truck. It's not going to break. It's not wooden.
Have you taken a grinder and put teeth on it so that you fit in?
So that what?
So that you can fit in? Like if you take a grinder and just carve some teeth into it?
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
I fit in the overland crowd.
Yeah.
No, but what's funny is and I forgot all about this, but we had some people working on our house when we were first doing construction, and they were ripping shingles off the roof, and they were using our shovel on the farm, which was a flat shovel, but it didn't have the teeth ripped in it. And apparently the guy went out to our shop and turned on my grinder, and he cut like probably, I'm going to guess, 18 to 24 teeth into the tip of the shovel, so it would have ripping action. And we were paying him by the hour to work in my shop grinding teeth into our personal shovel. It's kind of funny. So
But
here's another I don't know, it must have. Here's another approval for the Fiskers from Mad Dog. He says he's a landscaper by trade and he approves of the Fiskers. So
yeah.
they make
so
it.
should
Love
I
their act.
save some of these other things that are on the list or save it for another
Yeah,
episode?
maybe just read the title of it, and then we
All
can
right.
laugh at you and
And
stuff.
grip ties, Bluetooth OBD2 reader, timber and bump stops, axle-less suspension for my trailer, first aid kit, safe jack, tire repair kit, dead man, and a jump box.
You don't have a tire repair kit?
I do, but if you look at this tire repair kit, it's better.
Okay.
I think you should get a dead man. Because honestly, like I've seen those and I would rather be a dead man than actually dig that into the ground and use it.
Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
they
very
work well,
true.
but I'd rather die.
Yeah, it's like I've dug enough in my life.
So-
I love the idea. I love the idea behind it. I guess that's just something that you use when you're a full-time overlander and you've just got 3 days that you can wait 2 of them before you dig the hole, and then on the third day you just dig the hole and get it over with.
Well,
So-
I'm just going to
so-
pour all my water on the ground and wait for 3 days to die. Like I'm done.
my thought process behind the dead man has been sometimes you're in a spot where you can't winch forward, and or winch backwards or forwards. You can't get you could dig a spot for winching off of. So that's been my thought process. Just an extra piece of gear. That's why it's half tempted, because I don't want to spend the money on one. But I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
just want
if
to see you spend the energy on one and come back and talk about it.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'd be dead tired. You might as well just put me in the hole afterwards.
I could see us using one like on a snow trip where there was enough snow that it was easy to dig the snow to bury one in, but
Yeah.
maybe the sand. But man, the
Yeah,
good news
no.
is you can use it as a tree saver.
Yeah, I know it's got multiple uses. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and then like the tire repair kit. I do want to go into this just a little bit. It's the ones that Colby Valve teamed up with Tire Eject. I was talking to David at Colby Valve the other couple weeks ago, and he's got this kit. And he used that tire repair the tire eject sealant.
Oh, man. That's
Uh,
not safe packaging. I could see your kids sucking on that thinking it's apple
My kids don't like applesauce and those.
applesauce. Yeah.
No, they don't like applesauce.
Daddy, I can't go potty anymore.
So, but that tire sealant, he put it in one of his tractor tires, and it actually does work. Not like slime that doesn't work. So it's actually a functioning tire sealant, but it also has like metal handled tools, which, you know, if you've ever used the plastic ones and had them break on you, that's even worse. And then it also comes with a Colby valve. So
Nice.
yep.
Well, we want to thank everybody who listens to us every week, especially those of you who are in the chat helping us make fun of Ben. We can't think of all the jokes. We appreciate your help out there, pushing us along. Yeah, let us know what you think of this episode. If we should do another half-tempted episode coming up in the future, and if you've got any other ideas for shows, or if you're interested in coming on to talk about your Isuzu Amigo, let us know. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you're sharing us with your friends and helping us grow. And God bless America.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren and Power Tank to see all of their great gear. We are a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a question or comment? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.tv or through our social media channels by searching for Off-Road Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com, Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe and courteous, and thanks for listening. Part of the Firearms Radio Network.
I really had fun with that artwork this week. Just a lot of fun.